Tarique Rahman, next Bangladesh PM. Exiled for 17 years, now the big return. Dark Prince walks into Bangladesh PM office. Modi dials Tariq and congratulates him as BNP takes over Bangladesh government.
Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX Explained. On your screen, you can see Tariq Rahman's first photo clicked after BNP's sweeping victory in Bangladesh. Greeted, mobbed by supporters just to get a glimpse. BNP and its alliance has won 212 seats out of 299 seats. But what is more surprising than these numbers is the return of the prodigal son. He returned, and how? Well, the ascent of Tariq Rahman to the pinnacle of Bangladeshi politics in 2026 represents one of the most dramatic political resurrections in modern South Asian history. After 17 years of exile in London, Rahman has transitioned from a distant, often controversial figurehead into the architect of a new democratic dawn. His victory in the February 12, 2026 general elections was not merely a win for the Bangladesh Nationalist Party, it was a seismic shift in the nation's soul, marking the definitive end of a nearly two-decade era of polarized, monolithic rule. Returning to a hero's welcome in late 2025, Rahman managed to reinvent his image from the heir apparent to a seasoned statesman. The election results, a thumping majority of 212 seats for the BNP-led alliance, reflected a nation hungry for a third way. Rahman's personal victory in his traditional stronghold was a symbolic reclamation of his family's legacy. Yet his rhetoric remained focused on the future rather than the grievances of the past. He successfully positioned the BNP as the only vessel capable of stabilizing the country following the interim administration, promising a state of justice that moved beyond the binary of the previous decade. At the heart of Rahman's successful campaign was a manifesto tilted Bangladesh before all, a document that leaned heavily into the structural reform rather than populist handouts. Central to this vision is the July Charter, a proposed overhaul of the constitution designed to prevent the return of autocracy. At the heart of this new path is the full implementation of the July Charter, a blueprint born from the 2024 uprising. This charter seeks to dismantle the hyper-concentration of power by introducing a bicameral parliament and establishing new independent constitutional bodies. By creating an upper house and ensuring broader representation, the administration aims to honor the multi-party commitments made during the transition, ensuring that no single leader can ever again bypass the collective will of the people. On the global stage, Rahman's government is signaling a departure from the bureaucratic hurdles of the past by prioritizing the ease of doing business. A landmark policy in the shift is the guarantee that legally operating foreign businesses will be able to repatriate their stipulated profits to their home countries within a strict 30-day window. This move is designed to restore international confidence, positioning Bangladesh not just as a manufacturing hub, but as a reliable partner in the global financial ecosystem. This is further bolstered by the Make in Bangladesh initiative, which seeks to integrate the nation into digital economy by introducing international payment systems and establishing regional e-commerce hubs. Domestically, the social contract is being rewritten to protect the most vulnerable while empowering the next generation. Recognizing the sting of global inflation, the government has committed to fair price index-based wages for the labor force, with a mandatory review system triggered every 2 years to ensure the cost of living remains manageable. For the youth, the focus has shifted from patronage-based politics to merit-based recruitment in government service, supported by intensive training in technical and language skills to prepare them for a competitive global market. In Rahman's manifesto, the welfare of the citizen is addressed through several high-impact ground-level initiatives, including a universal midday meal program for students will be paired with a new education policy that prioritizes practical skills and ethical values over memorization. Low-income families will receive a family card granting them monthly access to essential commodities at subsidized rates to buffer against market volatility. The government plans a massive mobilization of 100,000 health workers to expand preventive care into every corner of the country. In a nod to the nation's diverse social fabric, training-based welfare programs will be established for religious leaders of all faiths, turning places of worship into centers for community development and social harmony. Through these measures, Tariq Rahman is attempting to build a state that is technically modern, economically transparent, and socially compassionate. His economic blueprint focuses on clean politics, aiming to dismantle the syndicate cultures that have historically choked the nation's markets. Beyond governance, the manifesto touches on the essential. It outlines a Green Bangladesh initiative that targets 20% renewable energy by 2030 and a massive reforestation project. By framing environmental security as a matter of national sovereignty, Rahman has appealed to a younger generation of voters who view climate change as a more immediate threat than historical political feuds. To supporters, Tariq Rahman represents the unfinished legacy of Ziaur Rahman and the possibility of restoring what they describe as competitive politics in Bangladesh. To critics, he symbolizes dynastic entitlement and unresolved questions of accountability that have long haunted the BNP. Either way, as Bangladesh enters a new and uncertain phase, Rahman remains a central and unavoidable figure in the country's political imagination. As the dust settles on the election, the composition of Rahman's likely government suggests a blend of veteran wisdom and technocratic expertise. While Rahman himself takes the helm as Prime Minister, he is expected to rely heavily on the old guard of the BNP and the Standing Committee to maintain stability. Figures like Mirza Fakhrul and Islam Alamgir, who held the party together during the darkest years of exile, are tipped for senior advisory or ministerial roles. However, the real interest lies in the new guard, the intellectuals and the policy experts who shape the 2026 campaign. There is widespread speculation that the cabinet will include a significant number of young professionals and perhaps even representatives from the student movements that catalyzed the 2024 shift. Perhaps the most delicate tightrope Tariq Rahman must walk involves his neighbor to the west. Historically, the relationship between the BNP and New Delhi has been viewed through a lens of mutual suspicion. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated the party as well as its chief, Tariq Rahman, asserting that India will continue to back democratic Bangladesh. With Tariq Rahman's win, many wonder if he would carry on the legacy of Khaleda Zia, who had an antagonistic stance against India. In the past, the BNP has not been known to be favorable to India. Under his mother, Khaleda Zia's leadership, Bangladesh and India have had tumultuous ties. However, what does Tariq Rahman think about India-Bangladesh ties is the big question. Well, his party's manifesto has already dropped hints. For instance, in the section called titled Bangladesh Before All, the party stated that it is firmly committed to uphold independence, sovereignty and dignity of Bangladesh. The document firmly stated its belief that across the border, Bangladesh has friends and no master. It added that Dhaka would not interfere in others' internal matters and would not allow interference at home. The BNP manifesto has declared that it would prioritize to end border killings by the Border Security Force of India and take steps to claim a fair share of common rivers with India like Teesta and Padma. Smuggling, trafficking and drug trafficking at the border will be strictly suppressed. The BNP's manifesto reiterated this. Tariq Rahman had also publicly announced that if BNP is elected to power, Bangladesh would be a safe haven for all religious minorities, emphasizing that religion is individual, but the state belongs to everyone. Many political pundits note that Rahman will continue to grow the country's friendship with China, a worry for New Delhi. Last June, Chinese Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs Sun Weidong met BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul. However, many believe that the Hasina factor would play a big role in deciding how BNP-India ties play out. In fact, in the latest developments after the elections, BNP has said it will formally move to bring back former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina from India. Salahuddin Ahmed stated that the matter would be pursued through official channels. Well, as Tariq Rahman prepares to take his oath, the weight of expectations is immense. He inherits a country with a fractured judiciary, a recovering economy, and a populace that has tasted the power of the streets. His victory is a mandate for change, but his true test will be in his ability to govern with the same inclusive spirit he promised on the campaign trail. For Rahman, the journey from London to the Prime Minister's office in Dhaka is complete. The journey towards a new path for Bangladesh has only just started.
Tarique Rahman, next Bangladesh PM. Exiled for 17 years, now the big return. Dark Prince walks into Bangladesh PM office. Modi dials Tariq and congratulates him as BNP takes over Bangladesh government.